to be a peaceful protest outside.
They've obviously had a chance now to review the officer's body worn video.
Right.
On obviously the video that you've posted.
Yeah.
On is it Facebook?
Yeah, I was live on Facebook. Yeah.
Right. What the conclusion is?
Yeah.
Because you were outside his address for 30 minutes or so with a loud hailer, they were saying it's an infringement, really.
What's an infringement?
Because there's other ways you can approach Mr. Fielding. He's got an office, he's got appointments for. He shouldn't have attended his own address.
Right. Well,
Right.
I will tell you. I have emailed Mr. Fielding. He doesn't respond.
Right.
He's not in his office because he's mostly working from home. That night that I attended outside his house to do a protest, he's been working from home. I've seen him on TV many times from home when he's done interviews on TV. So I assumed he was at home because he's been at home most of the time.
I think the point that you attended his own address and you've been outside for 30 minutes with a loud hailer, and somebody's had cause to phone the police regarding feeling harassed by it.
Right, I weren't harassing anybody.
Well, obviously, somebody's phoned the police because of your actions.
Right.
Mr. Fielding's partner, she felt harassed by it. You know.
I never even mentioned Mr. Fielding's partner in any way, and it was a peaceful protest. And the police, like you said, they did attend, and they did. I actually said I'm not breaking any laws, and I weren't breaking any laws.
What we're saying is, obviously, evidence has been reviewed. They've looked at the body.
Who's reviewed it?
It's the senior leadership team at Oldham.
Right.
Okay, and the detective. They've looked at the body worn camera of the bodies that attended, and also the footage that you've put on Facebook.
Right.
They're saying what it is. It was excessive 30 minutes with a loud air out somebody's house, and it amounted to.
It weren't excessive.
Behaviour.
It were antisocial behaviour because it was a private it was a peaceful protest. That's what it was.
You've attended his own address and been there for 30 minutes.
But that's where he's working from. He's working from home.
Right. So I've already told you we've reviewed the evidence, and it's all good and well making your point on protesting. We're not saying you can't protest.
Yeah.
But outside his own address is not the place to do it.
Well, there's no law against you are allowed to protest outside somebody's house. Look at Dominic Cummings for a start.
Well,
come on.
On this occasion.
Well, no, it's not. It's not on this occasion. You're allowed. You're allowed by law to protest outside somebody's house.
There is legislation that prevents people from going to somebody's public address.
I actually wasn't stood outside his house. Actually, I was actually across. I was.
Somebody for 30 minutes.
Come on, I weren't harassing anybody for 30 minutes.
Right. Well, all I'm saying to you, there's other ways you can do that. He's got his own office, hasn't he?
Like I said, he's not in his office and he's not responding to his emails.
No. Right. I'm just going to read some bits out about ASB and stuff like that.
Who's typed this up, if you don't mind me asking? What are you reading out?
This has come from our senior leadership team and advice they have taken from legal departments.
All right. Okay.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
I'm not here to lay down. I'm just saying this is what the evidence has been reviewed, and this is what we've come up with. And what we're saying is what you've done is paramount to the first stage of harassment, really.
No, it's not.
So what I'm going to do is warn you not to go back and obviously not to go back and do what you're doing, because if we get another complaint regarding you attending 105Q Road.
Well, you just give his address out because I've never given his address out.
Well, you're outside, weren't you? Okay.
Well, I was on the street.
Anyway, but harassment's more than one occasion.
I wasn't harassing anybody.
Well, somebody phoned the police and said she'd been harassed by what was going off outside. Okay.
Right, I wasn't harassing anybody. And the police, like you said, the police attended and they could see I weren't harassing anybody.
The evidence has been reviewed. I'm the area sergeant for Failsworth. I had nothing to do with anything on the day. I've just been asked to come and explain and to tell you not to go back. Because if you do go back and you continue a course of conduct, it's likely to come under the harassment legislation.
Right, okay.
And obviously you can be arrested for that.
Right,
so
okay.
The simple fact is, just don't go back and don't do it. Okay?
Right, okay.
Right. So I'm going to read this legislation out to you. Okay, it's basically what you did is antisocial behaviour, but it leads into the Harassment Act.
No, it wasn't antisocial behaviour, and I don't agree with that at all.
Right. Well, we're saying that your actions have caused disturbance to the neighbourhood. Okay. So ASB is defined as conduct that has caused or likely to cause harassment, alarm or distress to any person. conduct capable of causing nuisance or annoyance to a person in relation to their occupation of residential premises. Aye, that's going to be his own. Conduct capable of causing housing-related nuisance or annoyance to any person. So
which I didn't do any of that though. I didn't do any of that.
The fact that somebody's phoned the police and said there's a disturbance in the street and they've been annoyed, obviously that fits the ASP legislation. Okay.
But the police attended, like I said.
Right.
And you know that. 3 police officers, it weren't just one, there was 3 police officers attended.
I'll also explain that the evidence has been reviewed since. I believe the police officers weren't there for the...
They said they was going to stay there and just make sure that it was a peaceful
the full time or the...
No, they weren't there, but they said they was going to stay there for the full time. But then they went because they saw that there was no laws being broken.
The evidence has been revealed. That's what I'm saying. They've watched your video on Facebook, which lasts 30 minutes, and you are with a megaphone outside the house for that length of time, aren't you?
Well, I'm across the road.
Right.
So I weren't harassing anybody. I weren't.
Well, at least one person believes she was harassed by what you did.
Who's that? Who's that?
That's Mr. Fielding's partner. Okay.
Right.
Well, we're saying if you go back to that location and do the same thing again, and Mr. Fielding's present, it's the household, so it will amount to a course of conduct relating to harassment.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
So
well, I didn't harass anybody, so
okay.
So he's got you wasting a load of time, I'm afraid, lads.
Right. Basically, that's it. All I was saying. There's ways and means of making a public protest against something. But not going to their home address.
Well, like you said, it's public knowledge anyway, his address anyway. Yeah. But you are allowed to protest outside of somebody's house. You can look that up. You're allowed.
Right, well,
you are allowed to do that. So I didn't break any laws.
Causing some harassment.
Well, I weren't causing any harassment. That's the thing.
Well, yeah, because somebody gave a statement saying that she was causing harassment on that night.
Well, I didn't. Well, if she's done a statement, that's fine.
I mean, this is the end of it, isn't it? Really, because all you need to do now is keep away from that address and don't
well
go down with the megaphone and start shouting all over things.
Okay, shouting what? The truth?
Well, whatever. I weren't there. I don't know what you said, but
I could tell you. I could tell you if you want.
Somebody at that address.
Do you want me to tell you what I said?
Nice, is it somebody tipping up outside your house for half an hour with a megaphone?
Well, it's not nice, but then it's not nice what he's doing, is it?
Right, well,
but I'll tell you what he's been doing if you want. Do you want me to tell you what he's been doing?
I'm not here for that because that's been investigated by other people. I'm the neighbour sergeant. I'm Paul Archer. This is Damien Hartley Pickles. He's one of the beat officers down at Fairless. So we cover that area where Mr. Fielding lives. Right.
So are you covering all these kids that's in this park as well? Because there's a load of crap going on down there, isn't there, at Fairless with all these kids?
As you speak, Mr. Pickles is problem solving as we meant to speak.
You know, it's a shame because they're causing a load of...
Memorial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're causing a load of trouble, aren't they?
Yeah, but basically, a lot of it was on Halloween night, weren't it?
Yeah, it was horrendous on Halloween night. There must have been about at least 100 kids outside near Tesco's and what have you.
And we had staff on that came and dealt with it. But I think people are complaining about events over the summer, and it's not been as bad as that, is it really? No,
it's been worse. Yeah, it's been getting worse, hasn't it, just lately?
Right. Anyway, I'm not here for that. Damien's looking into that.
Yeah, well done, Damien. Get him sorted.
I'm the area sergeant, so I'll be helping him with it.
Well, it's very nice to meet you, area sergeant. It's very nice to meet you, but I haven't broke any laws, so I'm okay.
Well, you have not at the moment.
No, I haven't.
What I'm saying is...
And I won't break any laws, but what I will do...
Don't complete that course of conduct that's likely to cause somebody else harassment because...
Well, no, what I will do is I will hold my right to protest, a peaceful protest, and I won't be stopped doing a peaceful protest. I am allowed to protest outside somebody's house. So you can, well, you're recording it, like I can say you're recording it. So you can go back to Mr. Fielding now and say, all he needs to do is do his job. That's all he needs to do, really.
All the is basically said that don't go back because you've now been warned on the section of the Harassment Act. Okay.
I'm being warned on the section what?
Of the Harassment Act.
All right, and what does that mean?
That means that for a course of conduct, right, it's got to be on more than one occasion, so 2 occasions. So if you go back and do the same thing,
right,
you're likely to be dealt with for harassment.
Okay.
On that first occasion, somebody's gave a statement to the police and they were harassed by your actions.
Well, they weren't.
You were.
No, they weren't. That's her word against mine. I'm afraid.
I mean, that's for the court and the judge decided.
Yeah.
Not for me.
Yeah.
But I'm here just to tell you, don't go back, please.
Right. Okay. Okay.
All right.
Okay. But I will. Protest because I'm allowed to.
Don't protest at his own
Obviously, I'm not going to protest during lockdown.
But he's got his own office. He's got the council building.
Well, he needs to do his job then, doesn't he?
you know, there's not just Mr. Building that addresses that. There's other people and neighbours as well that.
Yeah.
I've got it for half an hour as well in the loud megaphone, so they don't need it.
And every one of them now know what's going on, don't they?
Right. Okay.
Do you know what's going on at Oldham Council?
I'm not. Like I said, there's other people investigating that.
Do you know what? He needs to stop wasting police time and get on with his job.
Right. All right.
Anyway, it's been lovely meeting you, lads. I'll show you the door. Don't forget your hat.
I nearly did. Thank you, Debbie. Enjoy your sandwich.
I will enjoy my sandwich if my dogs don't nick it. Now I'm showing you to the door.
All right.
Have a lovely day.
Thank you.
I'll shut the door. Thank you.
Bye now.
Bye.